So utilizing something like a chatbot works a lot better than something like a web page where they could then opt in to receive the coupon. But then the great thing is, as soon as they have the coupon on their phone, you're then going to be able to utilize the proximity-based marketing.
Welcome to the Chatbot Podcast, the place where we talk about bots, artificial intelligence, smart automation, and messenger marketing. We value our time and enjoy when technology makes our lives easier. And now your host, Balint Pataki.
Hello, and welcome to episode 17. Today we will discover opportunities for local businesses to supercharge their marketing with technology. Ruper Samuel, the co-founder of Walletly, is giving insights of the world of retail. He set up his first shop with only 18 and scaled to 20 shops within just a few years in South England. He's a contest winner, chatbot builder, and successful marketer. Please welcome to the show, Rupert Samuel. Hi, Rupert. Thank you for accepting my invitation for the podcast and making the time for this interview.
That's fine. Don't worry about it.
Can you please introduce yourself a little bit? How did you start? What's your background? What was your first chatbot experience, for example?
I'll give you my background, but I'll go a little bit further back before chatbot because I think that may explain why I have such an interest in the certain area of chatbots that I have an interest in. So I'm 28. When I was 18, I opened up a shop in my local city of Bath. Over 5 or 6 years, I had about 20 shops in the southwest of England, all selling hat, scarves, socks, gloves, fashion accessories, imported items from Italy and China. And I've always had a great passion for retail. Same in my family. My father used to have about 40 shops at one point nationwide, and he did about 150 stores over his lifetime. And it's always been in my family a great big thing has always been retail. I mean, I've got 3 little brothers. 2 of them have got great successful online retail stores, and another one of them is a bit of a personal brand in his own sense as well. But I stopped doing retail stores and moved into wholesale, and now my family business was supplying about 500 stores across the UK with all the fashion accessories that we used to have inside of my shops. So I started building chatbots for these shops that we already had a connection to for buying all of our stock, essentially. And one of the biggest demands was loyalty, and affiliation. So I went out of my way. I built a very large chatbot. It's called the Loyalty Card Bot, and that got the template competition that ManyChat did. It got a second place prize winning inside of that competition. And then from there, because that chatbot was very large, so since the amount of things it tracked and everything else it did, there was going to be a much better way of essentially turning this into something that's a lot quicker to onboard for agencies and also a lot more easier for business owners to understand, but hopefully give a few different upgrades such as proximity marketing and also push notifications. So after a while, we turned the loyalty card bot into something of what you can kind of see with Walletly over the last 48 hours. So my background is primarily retail, buying and selling of goods from China and Italy. And then, I got into more digital, then got into the chatbot world. Took a year to build my big loyalty card bot. And then since then, I've been working with other teams to bring to you things like Many Pages, Walletly, and a new one that'll be launching in about 2 to 3 weeks called A1 Club.
Okay, thank you very much. That's quite the intro, and congratulations on the success in terms of the retail shops and also the ManyChat contest.
Cheers.
You mentioned that you also shifted to online. What platforms do you use when you talk about online shopping?
Shopify, primarily. It's where I started. What was I, like 5 years ago, 5-6 years ago? And I've always enjoyed Shopify. It's been great for multiple product stores. I've never really been down that whole line of doing one niche specific product. I've always done quite a large variety of different products. I mean, if you saw the way, I'm going to do a video one day on the warehouse just up the road from where we are, where our office is, so you can see all the stock. But always been Shopify essentially.
Mm-hmm. And have you thought about like connecting Shopify into the system when you build the loyalty bot, or how did that look like in the beginning?
Well, yeah, I mean, that thought has crossed my mind. E-com, loyalty, card bot alongside with the affiliation. The one thing that I never got round to when I was creating the loyalty card bot, because I had to take a step back from that with taking on the Walletly software, was I wanted to have some sort of automation rule where it would check the Shopify account to see if there's any matching UIDs or emails or whatever you're going to use in the ManyChat account that would then have created a purchase over, say, the last 24 hours to then apply a certain amount of points or stamps or value or something back to that, as I haven't actually seen anything like that, but I haven't really hunted around for that for maybe 2 or 3 months, and maybe somebody's came up with something in the last couple of months to actually replace that feature. But primarily when I build the loyalty card bot and my systems, I'm primarily always thinking about physical stores in mind, because I always feel that they do sometimes miss out. I feel like they miss out sometimes. So I being that that's my core of where I started. When I was 18, I got my first little shop and did my thing. I always want to help out the main retailers, where it may be restaurants or shops or bars or restaurants or clubs or events, anything with physical passing trade going back and forth is where I focus most of my headspace into, I guess.
So in my understanding, you say that many of the digital shops or businesses have advantages because of the technology they are using, and you would like to improve some of the local shops and physical shops with some of the technology that is available for us right now.
Yeah. So I mean, when I started the loyalty bot, I mean, I thought it was amazing that essentially you could have the Messenger QR code or the Messenger code. Messenger are now phasing this out. A bit annoying in a sense, but there you go. Because, it was great. If you were Android or if you were Apple, you could go to Messenger, scan the code, and it would work for everybody. As the aggravating thing at the moment is that, if you're on Android or on Apple, if you're on Apple, you can open up your camera, that'll scan a QR code. But if you're on Android, not natively is it inbuilt into the camera feature to be able to pick up QR codes so easily. So that means you're going to get less opt-ins, and I do have a fix for that, which is, funny enough, my little secret project software that'll be coming in about 3 weeks' time or so. But we can talk about that later on another video call if you want to. But no, it was primarily based around the code, people trying to opt in from there. And that was pretty much how that was based around. And since coming up to the whole thing of proximity-based marketing with beacons involved, and centralizing all of that into one app, which is what the Wallet Scan app that works part and part with Walletly, has just given extra benefits. And with that also said, you're going to get the push notifications features as well, which, again, I think it's an area of marketing that most or any, digital or physical stores or business should definitely start thinking about for their 2019 and 2020 campaigns, to start building a subscribers list for the capability of sending push notifications.
Okay, that sounds really good, because everyone goes with their smartphone in their pockets and goes to different locations. So why not utilize that technology that's already in there to make better marketing for these shops? So can you give me and the listeners who probably not that familiar with Walletly or some of the methods, like an overview or rundown how a campaign could run, what could be a good use case, what processes or stages are in this marketing funnel?
So So do you want me to talk you through how to set up a Walletly account or what sort of campaign that you would?
Not necessarily the account setup, more like an overview of the marketing process, like what could be like a good use case using this technology.
A good use case, the simplest one to talk about would be coupons. Effectively, I mean, coupons I always say are a great entry point for any customer to get to know your store, to come to your store. I mean, I usually like to go coupons, then loyalty card. And then some sort of bonus if you can kind of incentivize them to make that extra third or fourth trip, usually. But with Walletly, a simple use case would just be you could set up a coupon delivery through your ManyChat account or Active Chat or Smart Loop or Mobile Monkey or Chat Fuel, because Walletly likes to work with all of the platforms out there. And well, I mean, it's pretty simple in the sense of that you just load up the campaign from Walletly into your chatbot. Can broadcast out the coupons, or you can use any of the type of opt-in routes that you normally would, be it JSON ad, link, chatbox, checkbox, whatever opt-in routes that you're taking, to then promote them to go through, add them into the, once they get the wallet, going through the chatbot. I mean, the great thing about the chatbot, why we chose the chatbot to start with as the opt-in route for Walletly, is because of the great high open rates and click-through rates. And the fact of that when you want to start re-engaging with your customer based on whether or not they've redeemed or not redeemed, you're going to be able to utilize a conversational channel to then potentially push them onto the next coupon. So it's maybe not about the next loyalty card, as I explained, from coupon to loyalty cards. So utilizing something like a chatbot works a lot better than something like a web page where they could then opt in to receive the coupon. But then the great thing is, as soon as they have the coupon on their phone, you're then going to be able to utilize the proximity-based marketing. And it's always one of those quite aggravating things. I mean, I used to have a lot of shops myself. So, I mean, you'd never see it, but you'd always know it. And that would be that your customer was potentially 100 meters away and forgot to just pop into the shop to go and get what it was that you'd tried to do. Or that they might have forgotten they had that coupon. So now having that Ibeacon on your phone alongside with the wallet scan app, that footfall of trade coming to your store will increase, just by a nice gentle quick push notification reminder of, hey, you have a coupon, pop into the shop to utilize it.
Can you please talk a little bit about Ibeacon for the listeners who don't know what that is?
Ibeacon, I mean, Beacon tech is simple. Imagine something the size of your phone. You can buy these things from somewhere like beaconstack.com, and you can place them into your store, set them up with however your campaigns you're doing, whichever way you're doing a campaign, and then basically if a phone has its Bluetooth on and comes into proximity of the beacon, then you're going to be able to send a push notification to that. Now, to save on costings for not only the retailer, but potentially the agency, Walletly put the Ibeacon into our Wallet Scan app. And the Wallet Scan app is the tool that you utilize to make the redemption process happen on the coupons that your consumers will turn up with. And then as an extra added feature, just outside of the Ibeacon thing that we just spoke about quickly, is that you get a dashboard to actually, as the business owner, I would like to know how well the campaign is going on. And it's in real time. So at any given point, if I want to have a quick look and know what's going on without having to bother the agency, I can just look at the Wallet Scan app on my phone. It lets me know exactly how's the campaign going. So the Ibeacon is just great tech for being able to send push notifications or a message or some sort of nudge, whichever way you want to describe it, to a passing customer. And with some of these other features we have coming up with Walletly as well, we're looking at being able to create custom or segmented audiences based on the amount of time that a user will spend in a certain proximity of your beacon. So a simple use case of this would be, imagine that you go into a restaurant, you spent 20 minutes, half an hour sat there having your food, bish bash bosh, doing what you're doing. And then all of a sudden, the Ibeacon will send you a message saying, "Oh, hey, I've noticed that you've been inside of the store for a little while. I've just added some points to your loyalty card, or I've just refreshed you a new coupon, or thanks for having your dinner at the restaurant. How about giving us a review?" So you could go from lots of different places with the Beacon technology.
That's amazing, because you also are able to combine this with other information as well, what you could collect from the chatbot, or maybe like other integrations that you might have in that shop, right?
Yes. So I mean, the chatbot could reply back. The chatbot we are working on a way to make the chatbot reply based on certain Beacon technology, Beacon actions, I should say. Sorry. But the other thing of where the chatbot will be able to respond based on some sort of action will be the redemption process. So once you redeem a coupon, for instance, or add some points or some stamps to a loyalty card, for instance, or a ticket or something like this, the chatbot will then be able to get pushed onto another flow and say thanks very much for coming to the shop and having dinner here. Just for utilizing that 10% off coupon, I'm now going to add you to our loyalty rewards program. I hope you have a nice day, so on and so forth.
Sounds very interesting. It's like pixeling the person in life, real life, and
yeah, that's a great way of putting it, actually.
How much time or how often visited the shop, so to say. So what were your initial successes with this? Like you implemented it in your shop. I imagine it went well and motivated you to work more on this and build out the template in a little bit more extensively. And you mentioned the loyalty template became really big. Or
well, it's not quite a surprise in its own little way, that, to be honest with you. I'd started on the loyalty card bot back in the summer of 2017. I think I could ask a friend of mine. He was sat next to me when I was on the sofa. I remember it very well. And yeah, I built it for one of our clients, like I said, from the 500 shops we supply. And I just built and built and built and built on it. Learned new skills. I've been around I've been learning about chatbots, I feel now, for somewhere between 2 and 3 years, I think would be a safe bet to say. And I literally just built on it and just learned as much as I possibly could about what I could do, why I wanted. I knew what I wanted as a retailer. I knew what I wanted from my bot to be able to give me decisive information, but also for me to be able to take instant automation reaction based off of actions from the consumer's perspective. I just built it all the way out. And, one day I utilized, I also have got some extension software as well, which helps agencies and marketers and personal brand owners as well. And I utilized my own software on myself to essentially grow some traction with, agencies and chatbot builders in the community. And I just told everybody about it, launched it, did a few ads. And then before you knew it, I was then, given the award for the second place thing in ManyChat. And by that point, I'd already had many pages as well. So, many pages, just to give you a quick idea of what that is. I don't know if you've heard about that or seen that one. But essentially, it's almost like a baby click funnels for your chatbot, in the sense of that you can take user fields that your consumer has or your user has filled in inside of your chatbot and display them onto the web page builder, because that's what many pages is, web page builder. Sorry, just to put that back in there. But then not only will the web page builder be able to display the user fields for you, it will also take in inputs for you and then pass that back to the chatbot, so the chatbot can learn from your web page. And we have an integration for things like Stripe and PayPal and some other things as well. So it's really, really good if you're trying to get that final conversion, potentially an email or a Stripe payment through your chatbot. And effectively collectively amongst many pages, loyalty card bot, My loyalty card bot was built with another system as well called BotBlocks. BotBlocks is an API provider for different outbound softwares, I guess, that you can bring into your chatbot. And I guess people just started listening to what it is I had to say and what it was I was trying to provide people, and it all just started kicking off, essentially, I guess.
Awesome. I enjoy seeing like new software and new tools coming in and trying to put everything together. So you have the app for the mobile for Walletly. Is it mandatory for the user to download that, or they can just use the chatbot?
So the way that the app fits in to the whole chatbot space with Walletly and everything is that we did have a version where it wasn't necessary, but I phased that out. It wasn't 100%, as I'd like to refer to it as. It is necessary for you to have the app. The person who will have the app will be the business owner or the staff members inside of the store. People who are going to take on the redemption process, essentially, is all you really want to kind of think of at the end of the day. The way that it works is that I found that there's a lot of marketing agencies out there that didn't exactly want people to realize that you're using Walletly to be able to provide the wallet cards and the wallet cards. So we made Wallet Scan so that you as an agency, if you're an agent, marketing agency, you're able to talk about Wallet Scan, talk about the features that Wallet Scan has, which is essentially the features that your business owner or client is going to want to know about the most. So that's going to be the beacon, the on-the-go dashboard, and the redemption tool. Okay, so they know that from having that app based inside of their store, they're going to get all the beacon stuff we spoke about, the capability of redeeming, the coupons that you as a marketer are going to be issuing out as quickly and as fastly as best as you can to the best customers that are hopefully going to come to the store. And and then the on-the-go dashboard for the owners and managers of the store as well, because you can choose who sees that and who doesn't see that from the Walletly side of software. So it is 100% necessary. It's necessary because of, like I said, the beacon, the dashboard, and the redemption tool. But you don't have to tell your client about Walletly. They won't see Walletly. They just know about Wallet Scan, essentially.
And how about the client side? So when they see a Facebook ad, okay, I'm interested in that coupon code. How is the process for them? What do they need to know?
A customer. So there's two types of customers at the moment. So we've only been open with Walletly live for 48 hours, maybe 72 now. You could say it's getting to the end of Wednesday for me. But there's two types of customers: Androids and Apples. Okay. So Apple users, they're the ones that we prefer the most at the moment. Apple users, they will literally just opt into the chatbot like any other way that you do that. Okay, like just think of it, that's how they do it. And then they get asked one question: what's your email? And then from that, they click a button and they will add the wallet card to their phone. And that's essentially it. Once they have given you their emails, or funny enough, if they already have given you their email, so you don't have to ask them twice, even if you ask them for a completely other reason, if it has nothing to do with Walletly or anything like that. If you've asked their email, you can use the answer that they've given you for their email already without having to ask them. You just have to ask them, would they like this coupon? Yes or no. And if they say yes, then the next button is the download button to their phone. So for the Apple user, they'll put it onto their wallet. For an Android users, unfortunately, we don't support the Google wallet yet, or the other wallets that Android is currently supporting. And when we will, in about 30 to 40 days, it's just we wanted to open up as soon as we can so people can start testing it. And considering that Walletly at the moment is free for what I'm referring to as our opening phase, for, I'll say, a 30, 40-day period, people can just start utilizing it, and we'll have more features before we start charging people. One of those will be more information in the back end of the push notifications, and also the Android opt-in route.
Oh, awesome. And also, you mentioned that there are these ways for Facebook ads or like however they opt in. Do you use it or people that use Validly in their shop? So, for example, they do a little contest in the shop itself, and then people can engage and win something or get this coupon code and so on. Or it's more about getting people into the shop and into this whole ecosystem.
It's definitely about getting people into the shop. I mean, that, as a retailer, and that's why I said about my background, I was like, bot building, I'm definitely, I'm good at that. I know what I'm doing with everything. But I mean, my true roots is retail. So, yeah, it is definitely just about getting them into the store, because, I mean, that's ultimately what it's about. Even if you're not using Wallet, if you just use a chatbot by itself and, you're doing local marketing, restaurant marketing, whatever, ultimately all you're trying to do is just try and get that customer to go into the store, spend some money. And the thing that you're trying to do after that point is to get them to do it more than once, and that's I think it's like a stat. There's all sorts of different stats out there, but I mean, once you've paid money to a store, you're 80% more likely to spend more money there. And after you've done 3 visits, you're going to visit them like X amount of times a year. There's loads of different types of stats that I could pull up on that kind of stuff. But essentially, once in the door, that's what we're trying to essentially make happen, really, really simply, and a lot more effective with Walletly as with like the Ibeacon technology.
Exactly. That's why I also asked this question, because people who are already going to the store or just like visiting, they are already there. That's a little bit more personal connect, and it's easier to put them on this royalty program that you offer personally.
Yeah, we've got a great chatbot coming, funny enough. What's today? It's Wednesday, so about 10 days from now, I'll have a guess. My mate, I think you know him as well, Josh Barkin from Yanis. He made an amazing bot called Slotbot. Has a little slot machine play around thing inside of it. We're combining the Slotbot chatbot with Walletly rewards to be kicked out to the users that play it. So inside of Walletly, we have a bot store. Just so, I don't know if I mentioned that or not, but there's a bot store inside of Walletly. All the chatbots that I build and other chatbot experts that I'm in connection with will be putting their chatbots up on there. A lot of them will be for free. There might be 1 or 2 they might have to pay for, but I'd have to say 90% of them will be free. And chatbots like this, you can find inside of the chatbot store. A very simple plug-in and play way they're built, and they all kind of get an overlook finished by me, because the way that I created the loyalty card bot, people who obviously have it can emphasize on this, but it is very, very different to some of the other chatbots I saw. I've seen some of the other chatbot templates I've seen go out there in the sense of how you can just utilize essentially the template fields only, and you don't actually have to go into the chatbot itself. So it makes the onboarding time and process, into minutes instead of hours. And when I say minutes, I mean like 10 to 15 minutes, not like half an hour, 40 minutes or something silly. So as a marketer, you should be really concentrating, I feel, on your ads and your content for your ads, and making sure that the money that you're spending to get people to opt in is being well spent, and essentially leave some of the chatbot experts to allow that once you put a consumer into your chatbot, that we've made a decent system that is going to turn them into a paying customer in store.
That is a really good point. And I'm really stoked about this bot then, because that was my idea as well, to capture those people who already there and make them more loyal in some ways. The third thing you mentioned on your website are event tickets. Is that
tickets?
Tickets, yeah.
Yeah. So we're building a version of Walletly where essentially you'll pay for an event ticket and then get issued your event ticket, and then you turn up and then use the wallet scan app and scan them off, put them in the door, something like that. It's very simple. Again, it's just another campaign module that we'll have to build out for chatbot users to utilize. But you'll be able to do event tickets, make them pay beforehand, or give them free tickets. It's up to you. I mean, you can kind of do free tickets already just by utilizing the coupon discount module and just saying it's 100% free. So you just turn up and you just get a 100% free ticket if you wanted to. But yeah, there's event tickets. There's also the loyalty cards, like we've mentioned a few times, and membership cards. There's a birthday and referral campaign. We've got some other campaigns as well coming in, which will be the business card. So you'll be able to send your business card via Walletly. And then let's imagine if you're a marketing agency or, somebody who goes to a lot of conferences, if you have given your business card out utilizing Walletly and you have the wallet scan app on your phone, people will know that you're in the vicinity at that conference. So they could potentially find you or send you a message saying, hey, where are you? I see you're close by, because it's got a notification saying you're close by. And then we've got appointment booking and table bookings. So appointment bookings might be good for things like dentists, and table bookings, things like restaurants and bars.
That sounds good. So how does that work with the booking? Is there any system integration or...
Look, when it comes to table bookings, the chatbot's going to ask you the time and date and how many people, and then it'll issue you with a wallet card, and then you can turn up to the restaurant or wherever it is and get the... it's not so much a redemption unless you want to give them an offer at the same time of making a booking, but you could then track back how many people have then booked on, confirmed and came to their booking for their table. With integrations of trying to track that in other different kinds of ways that can work with your staff members at the restaurant potentially. You could utilize integrations that work inside of ManyChat. So you could use things like Zapier or I'm not sure what else you might want to use, Google Sheets, for instance. But a really nifty tip, if I can give one, would be that I saw something the other day called Glide Apps. And essentially it's an app building software that is based on Sheets information. And I thought it was a very good tool potentially for reporting back to your client, because it means that you could give them a private app that will bring in all of the information that your sheet will then bring in from the chatbot, and the manager or owner of the restaurant, if we're talking about restaurants for a second, could then have a toggle switch to respond back and forth to whether or not they're going to have the booking, and whether or not they have then put a true or false to the booking. That would then talk back to the chatbot and then be able to give the wallet card for the booking, or not the wallet card if they've already taken on bookings, because I do find a lot of different businesses use chatbots in so many different ways that is more preferable to how they work in the shop floor itself or on the restaurant floor.
Okay, thank you. That sounds amazing, and looking forward to this. We have some questions from Facebook groups. Nick Garza asks about dynamic expirations for Evergreen campaigns. For example, for coupons, I would assume.
Yeah, so that already exists with Walletly. We do a 30-day coupon. So when you issue these coupons to people at the moment, the coupons will be only valid for 30 days. After the 30-day period, if you were to scan one with the Wallet Scan app, it would come up saying that this coupon is no longer valid. There is also, I'd say by this time next week, you will be able to change the amount of time from 30 days to 7 to 4 to 5 to 1 to whatever you want effectively. Okay, so if you want to, you could have a coupon sit in somebody's wallet forever and ever and ever and ever, waiting until the point of when they utilize it.
I see. And also a question by him about the potential affiliate program for Walletly.
We do not have an affiliate program at the moment. We have only just opened our doors live public, and it is not one of the first things that is on my priority list, to be completely frank and honest. It is not because we don't think about it or we haven't thought about it. It comes down to essentially that I want to provide as many features as possible before I start going down the affiliation route with potential influencers and other key marketers that can potentially talk to either business owners or other marketing agencies to allow them to know about what Walletly can do for your business or agency. So I want to put a bit more downtime into adding more features before I start the affiliate marketing side of things, to be honest.
Sounds reasonable, and also you have to make sure you have your priorities. Growth. GP asks about point of sale, POS systems, integrations, opportunities.
Yeah, so I had a call, funny enough, with somebody today. They are working on this feature and testing it. So maybe by Monday, in 4 days' time, I could tell you something about this. It's definitely something possible. But like I said, it is something that we obviously don't have in our second day of opening. So I would say hold tight, give me something between 30 and 60 days. And I'm pretty sure we'll have something there for you to be able to utilize it. At the moment, though, we can't do that.
I see. Thank you. Is there anything you would like to mention before we wrap this up about Walletly, about some of the projects, or just some sort small tips for local businesses trying to utilize chatbots and some of these tools that you provide?
I've always got plenty of tips. Who am I directing this tip to?
Well, let's stay with the retail shop owners.
Retail shop owners. Right. If you're a retail shop owner, I really would appreciate it if you do take the time to listen to whoever the marketing agency is telling you, or whoever is inside of your business telling you to get a chatbot. It is definitely worth the value of money, whether or not you're even utilizing Walletly or not. It is definitely worth money to any small business. They should have a chatbot. The only other tip I could really say to you is, as a retailer, and me being a retailer, I would have to say, make sure that you do talk back to this agency and, express the fact that the main thing that you want from this is to have customers in the door, not some all singing, all dancing chatbot that looks and sounds cool because potentially you might have got a chatbot builder to build you a chatbot that does 1,000,001 features. But unfortunately, they forgot the main objective, which is to get the punter in the door.
Amazing. Thank you very much. Who would you nominate as a next guest for our podcast? We talk about bots, AI, messenger marketing.
Interesting. Who do I know? I know a fair few people. I looked at who you've had on your list as well. I would. What are you looking for? Chatbot builder or marketer or business owner?
Everyone who has an interesting story and can share value in this realm, and mostly marketing direction.
I'd go talk to Natasha from School of Bots. I would go talk to a mate of mine called Alan Farr. I'd go talk to a mate of mine called Dashan Simmons. I would go talk to a mate of mine called Flo Hubber. These are all. Everybody so far, I think I've said, is from a different country. And some store owners. I mean, I know some pretty proactive store owners, but the guy called Chris and Hayden from up north here in the UK, they run a nightclub called Switch, and they're very proactive on their marketing. So I'll have maybe a talk with them about the pros and cons of chatbot marketing.
Amazing. Thank you very much. So how can people start building their first coupon offers with Walletly? What's the next step? We will have the links in the description as well.
I would go and visit the Walletly community. Inside of the Walletly community is about 1,200 of us at the moment. Everybody in there is quite a happy group of people, all quite happy chappy. And there's a few live videos telling you how to get started and a few live videos explaining how to use it. Obviously, you can just go to www.walletly.ai if you want to. And there's training videos and explainer videos as well on the software. But I'm always happy, and this is something I do stress to everybody, but I'm always happy for you guys just to message me personally and just drop me a voice message or a question or something like that. I'm really, really responsive on Messenger myself. And if you have anything to ask, just hit me up there about Walletly.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure to have you on.
Fantastic. Nice to see you too. Bye.
When I invited Rupert, little did I know of the wide range of expertise and companies he has. I'm really grateful for him for sharing his insights and for creating amazing tools for us chatbot marketers. Would be definitely happy to have him again on the podcast later on, as we have so much more to discuss. If you have any questions that you would like me or my guest to answer, please just go to chatbottutorial.com/ask and drop your question there. See you in the next episode, and as always, you can find the show notes at chatbottutorial.com/podcast.
Thanks for joining the Chatbot Podcast. If you enjoyed the show, don't forget to rate us on iTunes and share it with others.